Hi and welcome back. In recent conversations I had with some of my clients, I've noticed they were not always happy with their past recordings. So I've decided to make this video and mention 5 key factors that could help inform your decision on how to choose the right recording studio for your next project. Let's begin. The first thing to consider when you're looking for a recording studio is the genre. Mostly studios specialize in certain genres, so you want to make sure as an artist that that studio has similar music to yours in their portfolio. The second point to consider is, what are your needs? Are you after a full song production and help with the arrangement and maybe even the writing? Or you're a band just looking for a high-end facility to capture your sound? Maybe you've done all of that and you're just looking for some mixing and mastering. Or maybe you're just looking to capture some live videos of you performing the song acoustically in a cozy environment. So I would suggest you make a checklist of all these needs and make sure the studio can cater for these needs. The third point to consider is the gear. Many studios like showing off huge racks of vintage equipment, but the key thing is the gear should match the project. Yes, if you're looking to create a vintage classic sounding record, then a vintage console with some tube or transformer based racks would help you achieve that. But if you're looking to cut some current sounding pop records, you shouldn't really seek out a studio recording onto tape with piles of vintage gear. Instead, you want a producer that's got a forward-looking vision and knows all the latest ropes in technology and plugins. So really, at the bottom line, the gear should serve your project, and don't be amazed by huge lists of gear that may not necessarily be relevant for your project. The fourth point I want to talk to you about is the studio size. Don't assume that bigger is necessarily better. Ideally, the space should match your project. Personally, I think that spaces that are too big can really overwhelm solo singers when they're doing a live take. At the same time, if you're running an ensemble or vocal choir, you may need a bigger space. Same for a 7-piece band or an orchestral production of some kind. As a rule of thumb, I would say that for singer-songwriters and smaller groups, a cozy, intimate space can serve you perfectly and can give you a great bond with your music and with the space itself in a way that a larger space may not be able to give you. On the other hand, if you're in a band and you want to achieve that classic Steve Albini sound on classic Pixies records, I can understand if you would go for a bigger space. So the space again should serve the purposes of your project. Last but not least is the communication between you and the studio. In order to ensure your project runs smoothly and stress-free, you want to make sure you have a clear communication line between you and the studio, be it a producer, engineer, or studio staff. You want to make sure they understand your vision, you understand your workflow, they understand your needs, and in return, you want to make sure you understand the project's terms and conditions. Make sure you discuss all these things and agree upon them before you start recording. Following all these key points will ensure you find the right recording studio for your project. As always, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, subscribe, share, and watch the other videos on the channel. Thank you very much. Bye.